We're here in Starship Troopers, Trader of Mars. It's 20 years later. The war's gone on for 20 years. I'm 20 years older, 20 years wiser. And I've got a lot of battle scars. I think...
You've lost an eye.
I've lost an eye. Yeah, it looks that way. So I got a little gray in my hair. But, well, you know, it's just... I think this is a huge compliment to the Starship Troopers franchise. I think it complements the first movie the most. I think it's the best sequel for the first movie, and it also ties into the book. I think Shinji Aramaki, who's the director of this, he created the mecha suits. He was a fan of Starship Troopers, and he's the perfect guy to do this. Ed Neumeier came back and wrote this, and that man knows me better than most do. I mean, I've known him for over 20 years now, and I love the way he writes for me. I love that. You know, sometimes when he writes, I get to read some of the scripts that nobody else gets to see. So I get to see these ways, and then sometimes while I'm reading, and you know how some people know you better than you know yourself. So sometimes I'm reading some of these characters, and sometimes I go, what? And then I have to reflect on myself a little bit more and think about it, and that's always interesting. It's fascinating to be able to do that. It's like living with your own author. You know, you're reading as he's writing. It's as if you got to do Tolkien reading. You know, reading the you know, The Last King or something like that. You're reading part of it, and you're getting to see your character develop, and then also maybe you can do something about it. I don't know. It's fascinating. It's fascinating being that way.
Did you do mocap for this movie?
I did not get to do mocap for this movie. I'm in a constant argument with the people at Sony right now about that, telling them that they have to have me do mocap for the next one. I just did mocap with Robert Rodriguez for Alita Battle Angel. I have a scene with Christoph Waltz and everything like that, so I was so excited to be in that one. And I want to do that for the next Starship Troopers if we do it. I'm going to do mocap on a video game on Monday, so yeah, I like it. I like that part of it too. It's interesting because I got to do the voiceover for this, so I'm in a booth, you know, doing my voice to the mocap actor, whoever he was. Well, I got to meet him actually. He was a nice guy, it's still a challenge, but you're still saying the lines that you're familiar with and that your character would have been saying, and even in the script there's a reference to how this is going on for 20 years. So.
When you were doing when you do the voice of Rico, is it different from when you're actually like in front of a camera, from behind a mic?
You know, I think that there's always a difference, but you're still bringing the character to life, and you still have to be real. You still have to believe it, and you still have to say it as if you were doing it live. So that aspect of it, when you shoot a live film, when you do Starship Troopers, I still had to go in the booth and redo my lines. So it's still like redoing your lines, only I didn't originally say them. But I did, because I did in the first film and the third. So, but I'm saying them again, but it wasn't me that said them in the mocap suit.
So going back to 1997, did you ever think that Rico would become this iconic character?
So when I was on Starship Troopers in 1996, we filmed it. It came out in 1997, and I'd be on the set, and I'd be in the suit. I'd go, I have to remember this moment. I'd look over and I'd see Paul Verhoeven, Ed Neumeier, Phil Tippett, and John Davison, all these guys from RoboCop. And going, oh my God, I love RoboCop, and now I'm in this film, and I'm the #1 guy on the call sheet, so I'm RoboCop. Oh my God, I'm Murphy. I buy that for $1.
Do you like do you have like a favorite medium you like to work on? Do you like film, television, video games, voice work?
Yes. All of it. Yeah, I love being on a set. If I'm on a set, if I'm talking about movies, if I'm watching movies, if I'm writing movies, if I'm thinking about movies, if I'm directing a movie, if I'm on a TV show, if I'm watching a TV show, if I'm whatever aspect it is, if I'm talking about it, if I'm on camera right now, I love it. I feel like I'm the most alive. It's like the best drug or best food you could have. It's not as great as sex, especially with my fiance, but it's pretty darn good. Jennifer Wenger, she's hot. She's just amazing. But it's pretty close. Not even close to her, because I mean she's amazing and beautiful, but still it's pretty awesome.
So we talk about like this is the first CGI movie that you're in, and you actually do some pretty badass stuff in this stuff. You actually take on an entire swarm of bugs, and you're picking up armor as you're running, just decking yourself out. What do you think this opens up for the Starship Troopers franchise when you do it like this as opposed to like live action?
Well, I think that the way that they shot that sequence is incredible. It's awesome. Now, Ed Neumeyer had written a script and talked to me about an idea of actually doing like a Lost Patrol, and here I was now, the Lost Patrol, all myself. And he even mentions in there that this is the Lost Patrol, but this is literally, I was on my own fighting this bug. And you see this, it's an epic scene, and I love it. I'd love this to lead to like a live action TV series that Sony decides to put on, starring Casper Van Dien as Johnny Rico. I think it would be perfect. So
I agree. I 100% agree. It needs to be a TV show right now.
Why is it not done? I mean, they have Game of Thrones is like ending. We need something really cool out there. This could be something like that. It could be epic. It could be totally different, but it could be done.
You also one-on-one a bug with a knife, and you win a bug with a knife fight.
It is pretty cool. I brought a knife to a bug fight, and that's pretty intense. That was awesome. We had talked about that, I think, in 2007, 2008, and I remember talking to that with Ed Neumeyer and Robert Skotek, too, who did the visual effects for us in that film. He also did it for, I think it was Aliens. He won the Academy Award too. He's an incredible visual effects guy, but we were talking about, because Ed had tried to do this one thing he wanted to do where it was like almost like a knife fight thing, but to actually see him come to fruition in this film was really nice.
You've done a lot of stuff over the period of your career. Would you like playing heroes better or villains better?
Yes.
Both.
I love being on a set, and I love getting into being a different character. I like that Lee Van Cleef said it best when somebody said to him, "You're always playing the bad guy." He goes, "I never played a bad guy," because he played the guy that had to put one leg on at a time in his pants and get up and do what he had to do in his life to survive. I think if you play the bad guy thinking, "Oh, I'm the bad guy," then you made a mistake. I think you have to make the choice that you're doing what you have to do to survive, whatever character it is.
Are you finding any time to game nowadays with your busy schedule?
I just recently, my fiance bought one of those, what's that called? A Nintendo Switch. Do you know that game?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're playing that Switch console thing. And we play Mario Kart, and I suck. They slaughter. My daughter slaughtered me. Back in the day, I used to be able to play all these different games on the PlayStation, and Sony has to get me a new PlayStation so I can play my kids and whoop them. But I used to, on the PlayStation, I could take them out. But now on that Switch thing, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm old now. I do blame it on them. So they got me a bigger controller. I still lost. And then I played this bug game yesterday. What was that bug game called yesterday? What, Helldivers? Helldivers was so cool, but it's Starship Troopers. I'm gonna just tell you realistically, Helldivers is Starship Troopers. I mean, what? Halo was Starship Troopers, and now they have Helldivers. I'm like, why don't they just make Starship Troopers the video game where we kill bugs? Oh, because they did it with Helldivers and Halo.
Where would you like to see Starship Troopers go next?
To a video game. Sony can put it out, and we'd have a great video game.
You went in 2005.
Yeah, I know we did one in 2005, but why don't we do another one, like a Halo or Helldiver? Where would I like to see Starship Troopers go? I'd like to see maybe another animated, and I'd like to see it go to a series. I think it would be cool as a series.